Hey guys, Frozen Stag here, and welcome to a Teutonic 2 Hotseat time-lapse and overview. So, let us begin. So, controlling Teutonic order, you have Alta. Playing Lithuania, you have BPF. Controlling Denmark, you have Katarata. Controlling the Might of Novgorod, you have Danius 98. Playing Poland, you have NATO. Playing the Holy Roman Empire, you have Fable. And lastly, playing the Mongols, you have Bert Burrows 1. So, let us begin the time-lapse. And there you have it, the end. So, as you can probably guess, the victors of this hot seat was Danius as Novgorod and Bert as the Mongols. Now, obviously, I do say that quite a few of the factions probably could have continued on, but the whole reason, sort of Denmark, eventually what happened, I'll go from the very beginning. Denmark? Who? Novgorod and the Mongols were allied from the start. They essentially planned to win the hot seat and kill everyone, essentially. Lithuania pretty much died very early on, I think, because Novgorod picked at them, the Teutonic order picked at them, and I think the Mongols picked at them as well. So Lithuania sort of just died very quickly, sadly. The Teutonic order are down to just 3 provinces. They didn't do too badly against Lithuania, but when Novgorod started flooding their troops in, they sort of got routed a bit. During somewhere at the beginning, Poland and Hungary went to war. They are now allies now, because they sort of just banded together. Like Denmark and Novgorod, like Denmark, Poland, Teutonic Order, Hungary, they sort of band into some giant coalition to beat back the Mongols and Novgorod. Otherwise, they just die, which is the scenario that's happened. So yeah, Poland and Hungary got peace at one point and sort of just joined forces. And Denmark obviously went up and killed Norway. And Denmark sort of joined the coalition and led quite a few naval assaults to get up in this general area around here. So yeah, now obviously this hot seat could have gone a bit longer. The real reason it sort of just ended is because Denmark, the Hungary, Poland sort of just got bored. I think Teutonic Order as well. They sort of just got bored, and they know that the outcome was probably their defeat. Whether or not it would have been or not is debatable, because the hot seat never really continued much. We never really got a proper conclusion. So perhaps the coalition might have won against Novgorod and Mongols, but they decided not to. So there you go, fair enough. And Danius, who was playing Novgorod, was a very experienced player, and probably the most experienced player here. So him allying with the Mongols and taking control of Novgorod, which was I would say Novgorod's a pretty strong faction. And with the Mongols as an ally is just very helpful. And to note, this hot seat was manual resolve, so yeah. Yeah, so Novgorod did very well. They took out Lithuania, pushed very hard this way, and obviously got something that was stalled in their invasion of Denmark was Denmark themselves, with their huge fleet, which is bloody massive. And they kept landing troops and naval invasions, no rompas las bolas, which I'm actually sure what that means in Spanish, but the player who was playing Denmark is actually from Argentina, so hence the Spanish. So yeah, he did quite a few naval invasions to pee off Danius, and Danius wasn't too pleased with 1 billion naval invasions he had to put up with. But eventually, I mean, he didn't take this, but eventually repelled him, and then Danius led his own attack into Uppsala and took that. And so yeah, probably from there he would have launched his attack on Denmark, because Denmark, from what I can see here, don't seem to have too many troops around. So yeah. Anyway, I'll come off Togolfo and focus on the faction at hand. We're going to have a look at Poland first. King Boleslaw, he's got his son, Prince Bukaful, and multiple other kids as well. Obviously, family trees in Hotseats are filled with adoptions, because, especially in manual resolve Hotseats, but adoptions are very important. And even in auto-resolve Hotseats, adoptions are still handy, because the extra general can sometimes make the difference between victory and defeat. Especially if you've got a night fighter, then that's definitely that's a must get, I think. But yeah, my personal opinion about adoptions, so I don't actually like adoptions that much. I mean, I have nothing against people who adopt, but I just personally don't like filling my family tree up with adoptions, because I like my family tree to be filled with the blood relatives rather than the adoptions. There's actually a rule I put in for future Hotseats, but if you already have a family tree and have a decent, if you have a family tree and you can't adopt, that's not really a rule that I'm gonna like properly enforce. It's more of an optional preference thing. So if someone was to put adoption general into, like, say Gondor family tree or whatever, then I'd be fine with it. But yeah, it's just a personal thing that I'm not too keen on. I wouldn't shove in loads of generals and stuff. But yeah, Poland themselves has quite a few armies. They're very much on the defensive. The Mongolians came here and just turned up at Auschwitz, Birkenau, which is actually where Auschwitz is, I believe, unless he's... Actually, I'm pretty sure it's wrong. It's Auschwitz. It's not Auschwitz, it's Auschwitz, which, he's put witch in, it's meant to be something. I'll show you in a minute what I mean. But yeah, the HRA didn't have too many armies in, because they were because obviously they start over here, and it took a while for them to push east. But as you can see, one full stack here, just outside Shektawa, or whatever it's called. And yeah, so very much the Poland was on the defensive in the southern border. In the northern border, and not particularly, because they were sort of relying on the Teutonic Order. But yeah, I'll go through diplomacy, even though it doesn't really matter. I've sort of just explained diplomacy, but there you go. There's a rephrase of it. Move on to the Mongols, controlled by Bert. Yeah, whatever. Go away. Just leave me alone with the constant bloody pop-ups. Okay, the Mongols took a bit of a battering, it would seem. Khan Khotan, who is Dread Knight. I've never seen that trait before. Ancillary, sorry. So yeah, Night Fire, pretty badass. Had quite a few users. One of his generals deserted. I think, if I remember correctly, the Mongols have terrible authority for the faction leader, and the faction heir, apart from this dude, has terrible loyalty, I think. Yeah, I remember the beginning, these two, I think, yeah, these two and these two have terrible loyalty. So that's why he deserted. So there's, you got Kanzada Ordani, who's faction heir. He's got that guy as his son, he's got terrible loyalty. So yeah, that's that. Over on this side of the family, one died in battle. I think those two there might have died in the same battle, and that one died in battle as well, a year before. So yeah, so you lost a few family members there. But yeah, the Mongols are very blue with the public order though. Let's see if we can find... Okay, yeah. The Mongols don't have that many armies, so in theory, if it was all resolved, Hatred would just come in here and kill them. Essentially. Right, let's see if I can spell this right. I could probably not... It's probably going to screw this up. No, that's definitely not right. How do you spell this? I know it's not spelled like that with witch in it. It's like... No. Is it? No. I have no idea, actually. I know it's not spelled Auschwitz. Like how you would spell this a witch. So... That's terribly wrong, I know it is, but... Whatever. Well, I'm sure someone's going to correct me in the comment section below, but there you go. I just find drunk. And you got Risco is sexy. I believe that Risco was a general for Poland, I believe. And I think he named it after him for whatever reason. Yeah, the Mongols don't have that many armies. I thought they'd probably have more, but that's it, I suppose. So yeah, because basically he was sort of just winging it, I think, with manual battles instead of like wasn't like stacking up massive armies. So if Hatred and Poland wanted to, they'd take this easily. But then Novgorod would sweep in the north. So yeah, that's Mongols. They did pretty well. Oh, I look for the agents. I don't really see all that. Just in the hot seat, and in the hot seat where there's agents, there's going to be tons of them. Unless someone's very new to hot seats and decide not to. Teutonic Order, which do not have a family tree. They have 2 generals, Hochmeister Philip and Order Marshal Arnold. Right, let's have a look. Okay, Königsberg. Marienburg has the biggest army, which is seemingly all they got, really. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Teutonic Order didn't do very well in this hot seat. Not to bash the other player too much, but yeah. On to Novgorod, which is going to be quite big. Even our economy is flying, yeah, massive. Alright, go away with the billion pop-ups soon. Thank you. Looking at the family tree, it is very extensive. So, Grand Duke Alexander has a great grandson. Yeah, that's my thing against the adoptions. Like, he's 58 and he's got a grandson who's 22, and then his father's 22 as well, and his father's 31, and then his father's 28. That's my problem with adoptions. I just don't like it. It just makes your family tree so messy and just ugh. So yeah, that's another reason why I put that little rule in that mainly for personal preference. But I may. That's the thing. I put that rule in. Whether or not I enforce it that much is up to me. I might, or I might not, or I might let you off. Depending if I can be bothered to reload the whole turn. Or make you replay a turn. Obviously, for that rule, there will be exceptions. So say if like you have one family member left, and if that family member dies and you die, then you can adopt. But it's an effort to make the family trees look cleaner, I suppose. But then again, it's not really up to me. Who cares, really? But yeah, this is family tree, and over this side he took a few casualties. Almost similar to the. Hang on a minute. No, that one died the same year as the other Mongol guy, and the same here. So they might have died in next to each other, perhaps. So yeah, 2 deaths there, another death here. So yeah, I'm going to assume that was the Denmark naval invasions. So yeah, Novgorod has some large armies, from what I can say. There's got this big army here. There's another one over up in Uppsala, which is full of cav. What else was that? I swear I saw another one somewhere. Oh, there's one army here with the fashion leader. He's not really doing much. Yeah, that's mainly it. I don't know where the other army might have been. There's a little army in the trees here. It's probably scouting, I'd imagine. But yeah, that's basically Novgorod. They're obviously very powerful, big economy, plenty of troops coming out. Actually, I haven't got that many troops like coming out, but I'm sure they probably will. But then again, in the manual rules of Hotseat, you don't really need that many troops. You just need a good army of cavalry and perhaps the odd members of infantry, and that's it. But yeah, that's is anything else? Oh yeah, it took Finland as well. That's many. On to the Holy Roman Empire, who I'm going to assume haven't had that much of a battering apart from the war with Poland. Oh, Denmark. I can't. Even if I defeat the boat at sea, it's a fleet inside the port. Yeah, that's what we saw with the fleet Novgorod a minute ago. So yeah, Sem decided on losing the campaign. So there you go. The hate tree. Let's have a look at the family tree. It is okay for once. Someone who was playing this. Fable, you have my everlasting respect. You were not a person who decided to adopt. Well, hang on a minute. Oh, you've let me down. Oh dear, you've let. I was so hopeful then for a minute. I was like, you know what? This is one guy in this hot seat who's not actually adopted anyone. And look, he's adopted this bugger. I can see why though. He's got Nightfire, unless he just didn't come on that. But nah, whatever. It's the faction leader died in battle, which was a couple of years ago. Now the Hatery had a full stack here. This is going to rebel on them actually. I imagine this army is going to go in or something in there. So yeah, the faction leaders here, the new one, and then you got a few other generals. So that's a nice little army there. Is there anything else? No, that's it. There's no other big army. I expected some bigger armies there, but actually no, there's one here. Oh no, it's all part of the same army. Okay, you didn't actually up that many armies, so yeah. So that full stack might have done some damage, but again, the whole reason the Hotseat sort of ended is because the coalition members got bored and just thought, fuck it, we can't be bothered. They're gonna win. The Novgorod and Mongols are gonna win anyway, so what's the point? That's a summary of what happened. I mean, you can go ahead and read the if you go to the Teutonic Hotseat channel, you can go read all the stuff there. Is there anything else? No. Moving over to Denmark, which I believe after them is Poland. Yeah. Anything here? Nope. The family tree, no doubt filled with adoption. Yep. Again, I probably shouldn't be too critical with the adoption system because I no doubt I'll offend someone in the comment section and then get an angry comment. But I don't really give a shit. If I don't like something, I'm going to point it out, okay? I'm not going to be quiet about it. I'd rather be honest about these things. But yeah, lovely family tree. Indra V died in battle, it would seem. And then this guy also died in battle not long ago. Probably the naval invasions going back and forth was the main cause of that. Sten Kilson had one person who got assassinated. Interesting. How many agents have we got for this one? Quite a bit, of course. I don't know why I even bothering to check that. Obviously, it took out Norway, which is just whatever. If you play as Denmark in anything, I mean, I played as them in the campaign not long ago, and obviously I took out Kalmar Union, Norway. So yeah, very impressed with him. I don't know where he got his. Yeah, his fleet was here. He must have had enough movement range to shove his fleet back, or he got a little fleet naval glitch, which allows you to send your fleet a further distance, which I've experienced myself. Novgorod. I keep getting these bloody faction names mixed up. What's wrong with me today? There's an army here, which is no doubt going up to in takeover Uppsala. But with what we saw in here, I really don't think this army is going to do it. But so he's going to need more troops from around here, I think. But yeah, as you can see, not many troops here. Unless we. No, there's a bit of an army here, but that's not much. But yeah, this is the place that took a lot of beating, a lot of battering, as you can see. Yeah, we go back to Poland. And yeah, Poland was the final faction, yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much all, really. There's not really much else I can really show you. But yeah, a very good, interesting hot seat. The next hot seat that I will be doing, and again, if you are interested in taking part in hot seats, and just message me on my Discord, or click on the link to my Discord server, and in there you will find multiple hot seats. We have 2 hot seats actually starting. Well, I'm looking for players at the moment, which is a not an Ice and Fire, a Westeros Total War Dream of Spring hot seat, and a Third Age Third Age Massive Overhaul Sub Mod hot seat as well, with a lot more updated rules than you've seen before in other of my previous hot seats. Obviously, there will be a hot seat to succeed the Teutonic hot seat. That will be Teutonic Hot Seat 3 or Teutonic 3 Hot Seat. And the difference, and the main difference with that, Ben, that one actually will be the one that I use for all my Teutonic Hot Seats now. And it's a little sub-mod which essentially balances out the Teutonic DLC. It's the same with, there's a Britannia one which is similar, which I'll use again. Essentially what it adds is add in Norway as a complete playable faction. And essentially Norway is essentially Sweden, and they control this, basically. And then Denmark controls Norway's region, so these bits here. And when Sweden Sweden/Norway controls all this, with added upgrade settlements from what I can remember. And every other faction is completely balanced out with close to equal starting position as best as they can get. But yeah, it's a very cool little Teutonic mod, and it's what we use next. I think for what we're going to do for the future Kingdoms hot seats, and I'll probably mention this again in another whatever Kingdom hot seat video we do next, is that all the Kingdom hot seats from now on will all be free for all. So only one player can win the hot seat essentially. That's an effort just to make the hot seats last a little bit longer, because the Kingdom's hot seats, as you can see on the YouTube, we've I never really caught it like that. As you can see on the YouTube, no, on the channel, you will note that the hot seats, the only hot seat videos I put up, like overviews and time-lapse, has been the Kingdom's hot seats, because they go very damn quickly. So in an effort to make it so they go a little bit slower, and I don't have to keep making the bloody hot seat video every month, is making it free for all. Because basically what happens is that the maps are too small. So say Mongols and Novgorod just ally up and take on everyone else, and then they kill everyone because it's just too easy. So having one person, having no alliances, sort of just makes it a little bit interesting and more enjoyable, I think. But anyway, that is all for now. I thank you all very much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Feel free to check out our Discord for if you're interested in future hot seats. Obviously, we'll be a hot seat. The next Teutonic hot seat will be starting after I upload this. Well, actually, no, it will be up today, which is currently Wednesday. But this video in particular will be up on Thursday. But anyway, I thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Farewell.